First up, Israel has announced the killing of the Hamas chief Yahya Sinwar, the mastermind of the October 7th attack, calling his death a heavy blow to the Palestinian group. The Israeli military said that after a year-long hunt, troops eliminated Yahya Sinwar in an operation in the southern Gaza Strip. The Israeli army released a drone video showing what it said were images of Sinwar before he was killed in Rafah's Tal El Sultan area. The footage shows a dust-covered figure in traditional scarf, alone in a blown-up apartment, throwing a stick at the approaching drone during his final moments. Israeli army spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said the forces identified 3 terrorists who were going from home to home on the run. Troops engaged the group, forcing Sinwar to flee as the group dispersed after being shot. Sinwar ran away alone into one of the buildings, injuring his hand in the shooting.
We identified him as a terrorist inside a building. We fired at the building and then entered to search. We found him with a vest, a gun and 40,000 shekels. He was on the run, fled, and our forces eliminated him.
While the Israeli army for a year had been hunting for its most wanted target in Hamas's tunnels beneath Gaza, they had a chance encounter with him in the ruins of Gaza coastal strip. Reports claim the IDF troops called for a tank to fire into the building when they saw Hamas fighters entering a building in Rafah. Afterwards, the soldiers found 3 dead men in the rubble and were struck by the familiar look of one of them. First, the troops noticed a mole next to the man's left eye. Then his chipped teeth matched the photos of Sinwar's mouth. With the photographs of his teeth and the DNA samples recovered for testing, the Israeli police explained how it identified the body of the Hamas leader after it was taken to a forensic facility in Tel Aviv.
The volunteering dentists of the Israel police received photos of his teeth from the field and compared them to previous data and verified an identification of Yahya Sinwar. At the same time, samples of the body arrived at the Forensic Medicine Institute. We took fingerprints and compared them to the Israel police databases. The Forensic Research Institute produced a DNA profile, transferred it to the Israel police DNA database, and in both cases we found a match to Yahya Sinwar.
The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the killing of the Hamas chief is just the beginning of the end of the war in Gaza. He said there could be an end to the war in Gaza if Hamas laid down their arms and returned all the hostages.
Yahya Sinwar is dead. He was killed in Rafah by the brave soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces. While this is not the end of the war in Gaza, it's the beginning of the end. To the people of Gaza, I have a simple message. This war can end tomorrow. It can end if Hamas lays down its arms and returns our hostages.
The Israeli army said no hostage was with the Hamas chief, Yahya Sinwar, when he was killed by the IDF. Hamas has not yet confirmed Sinwar's death. Al-Majd, a Hamas-linked website that publishes about security issues, urged Palestinians to wait for information about Sinwar from the group itself. Born in 1962, Sinwar was named as Hamas's overall leader, following the assassination of the political chief Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran in July. Once tasked with punishing Palestinians suspected of informing for Israel, Sinwar made his name as a prison leader. He emerged as a street hero in Gaza after serving more than 20 years in an Israeli jail for masterminding the abduction and the murder of 2 Israeli soldiers and 4 Palestinians. He was freed in 2011 as part of an exchange of more than 1,000 prisoners for 1 kidnapped Israeli soldier held in Gaza. Sinwar then quickly rose to the top of the Hamas ranks. Meanwhile, Iran said the killing of Yahya Sinwar will lead to the strengthening of resistance in the region. Tehran's mission to the United Nations said that he will become a model for the youth and children who will carry forward his path towards the liberation of Palestine. And for more, we were earlier joined by Dr. Anwar Cohen from Monterey, California, and he is a professor of non-proliferation and terrorism studies, Middlebury Institute, and we asked about the broader implications of Sinwar's death for both Hamas and the geopolitical landscape in West Asia, and this is what he had to say about it.
I think that the implication of his killing are tremendous, at least potentially tremendous. It really, as some world leaders already imply, it allows us for the first time to see the end of this year-long of the worst war that the Middle East has seen, has witnessed for decades, perhaps ever. It allows to have the next chapter, which is the release of hostages, done without the stubbornness of Yahya Sinwar, who essentially in recent months did not allow that negotiation to continue. It weakens the Hamas as an organization in tremendous way, and Hamas will have to recon and to rethink its future. The center of power of Hamas is likely to move from the inside of Gaza, the Gaza Strip, into the outside to Qatar. Possibly Khaled Mishal will be the next leader. And it would allow, I think, to have, if it will be done well, to see the end of the conflict vis-a-vis also Hezbollah and possibly even Iran. So the potential there is tremendous. Whether leaders will be able to take to translate this great operational success into strategical, I think it's still open question.